Today we have the Roxon Flash Elite. This is the upgraded version that Roxon has very kindly sent to the channel for all you guys to see what's going on. And this one does have some changes from my original version. Now, my original version I bought with my own money, but Roxon has very kindly again provided this version. So let's go ahead and see what has changed. Now, first of all, let's talk about design. I was a little critical in the past about this design, but I feel like the design is growing on me. I do feel like Roxon is really stepping it up, and I actually do like this tool a little bit better than I mentioned in the past. So one of the huge changes is actually the knife, and you can see right there, it is now made out of D2. So a lot of people complain about cheap steel, and this will allay some fears because Roxon is definitely trying to step up the game. So that's pretty cool right there. And then we have this really nice pocket clip. You do have the ruler right here as well. And then we have, again, this very easy to use tool, this lever that pushes up the tools rather. And then we have this Phillips screwdriver. We have this file. Not sure how I feel about that, but I don't use a file very much, but if I did, probably wouldn't be a fan of that, but that's what it is. And this does accept the Roxon 4mm bit set. So this is something that Roxon has gone with, and so it does fit on there very nicely. I'm always more of a fan of a 1/4 inch, but I prefer something rather than nothing at all. So it does seem to work nicely right there. Then we have a nice screwdriver, and it does look like a wire stripper and a cutter notch right there. And then we also do have this nice awl, and then we do have this can opener as well. And I feel like, again, some of these tools are looking a little bit more robust, perhaps a little bit longer, but we'll compare them again to the original Flash in just a little bit. And then on this side, again, we do have the saw right there, fairly aggressive. And then all these tools do lock, knife locks right here. And then these, how these work is you open them up, they lock into place, and then you push down. So pretty cool right there. And then we have this system, which you actually pull up and out, and it stores the ferrule rod in the whistle. So I really like that system where you're not, where it just is fairly compact right there. And then it just snaps into place. And let's go ahead and open up this tool and talk about the pliers. So we've got a fairly nice set of pliers right here as well. Seem very robust. And then also one of the things I want to notice is that there's no gritty sound. These are very smooth. You do have spring-loaded pliers, and you have replaceable wire cutters. So what you get with this tool is you get this pouch right here. Again, not my favorite style pouch, but it does seem fairly robust. It is reinforced nylon perhaps. And then you do get these extra wire cutters and the tool and the hardware. So that's really a nice touch as well. So I really like how Roxon is adding these extras. Not only are they upping the steel, but they're adding all these extras. And this comes in at only $43. So when you compare this, again, this is an outdoor tool. This is, I would say, probably meant to sort of be a competitor to the Leatherman Signal. When you consider the Signal is $140, this is $100 cheaper than the Leatherman. So pretty good option right here. Now, what we find is, let's go ahead and look at this just to make sure I haven't missed anything. So what we find is we've got needle nose pliers, we've got the reamer. Now, the reamer, they have, I guess that's what they call the awl, I think, of the reamer. The can opener, the saw, the file, regular pliers, awl, I guess the reamer they have there at the bottom. Pry bar for cans, flintstone, big flat screwdriver, wire cutter soft material, Phillips screwdriver, small flat screwdriver, and whistle. So 11, again, on this can opener, they're considering that as your small flat screwdriver right there. And Got the whistle, the big wire stripper. So they have a big and a small instead. I would label that this tool right here, I would say one is more for cutting like the sheath of the cable, but they do label it as a large and a small. Ruler, knife, bottle opener, and the wire cutters. So, and then here at the bottom, I think this is interesting where it talks about, if I can get this to focus, the D2, and then it talks about 5 CR, 15 MOV, 420 the pliers, and then it does talk about DIN, or D, not DIN, well, I guess it is DIN, 1.4116, some of the material right there. So anyway, so this is an updated tool. Now let's go ahead and compare it with the older model. So let's go ahead, and if we compare it right here, nothing looks very much different. Everything looks pretty much the same. It looks like most of all the outside has remained the same. But one of the first things you'll notice is that definitely the knife steel has changed. I don't know, I feel like this, maybe the shape has changed a little bit. Seems like the tip is a little different, not quite sure, but you've got better knife blade material right there. Let's take a look at the saw. So it looks like the saw is pretty much the same right there. Pretty close right there. And then let's go ahead and compare the implements. So this is where we definitely do see a change. So if you notice, the older style had a lot more flat Phillips, and this new one has this sort of three-dimensional on the end to use the 4mm bit kit to fit in there snugly. And the awl has changed perhaps a little bit. I feel like, I don't know, it might be pretty much the same. And the can opener, let's change it around this way. It is a little different. So, or the bottle, well, no, it is the can opener. It's a little different right there. And so I guess the Phillips has changed the most. And then what they do is, it looks like they have added an extra tool. So I think they've slimmed down the can opener, bottle cap lifter, and then they were able to add in this flat screwdriver with the wire strippers. I think that's what they've done. I'm trying to see here. Let's go ahead and look at this. Look at the thickness of this tool. Perhaps that's what's happened. Anyway, somehow they've managed to go ahead and fit in an extra tool, which is pretty cool. All right, so I guess that's one of the big changes. They've changed the Phillips and put in this flat screwdriver, so you do get a little bit more capability out of the Elite tool. So let's look at the pliers. I was trying to remember if the pliers on this one look the same. I guess they do look fairly similar right here. I don't think too much has changed. I feel like this new one right here is brushed a little bit more. This one right here looks like it has more of a coating, where this one looks more finely brushed. So I guess that's a little different right there. And the wire cutters, I think, are basically the same as well. So a big fan of the Roxon Elite. So I feel like Roxon is just offering a bunch more options. They've really upped the game recently, and they are very responsive as a company as well. When I reach out to them, they're very quick to respond, which I really like that. And they're just doing a lot of things right. So again, $42, packed with options. Again, the handle seems pretty comfortable. The only thing I have to say is that there is perhaps a little bit of an edge right here on the saw, but when you're talking about the edges of the handles right here in the grip, very, very comfortable. Roxon does an excellent job with that. So really, really good design. So when we talk about the weight of this tool, one of the things I did want to mention is, and I will have to go ahead and grab the box, it looks like. So when we talk about the weight of the Roxon Flash Elite, it does come in at 242 grams, which is 8.5 ounces. So this will be very similar to the weight of a Leatherman Wave. So keep that in mind. It is around that 4-inch frame size as well. Let's go ahead, just get this ruler out. And yes, it does come in around 4 inches. So it is pretty much that similar size and weight.